Hey guys, so today I thought I would start checking out our latest album release, Fear of Being Forgotten. Now, there is an awful lot going on in this track. We recorded this as sort of one chunk, so we have a extraordinarily large project to deal with, and there's, like I say, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of different sounds, a lot of different synths, a lot of production that I had to do on this to really poke things out, to make everything pop. So I just thought we'd go through to start with. We'll start off with the guitars because there is rather a lot of those. I'll just show you what we've got sort of going on in the first section. So this is the opening track, and we hit off pretty much straight away with the guitars. During the intro, there's a couple of clean sounding guitars which I'll just play for you now. So that quickly transitions into the opening big chorus section in the song. We have accompanying that some ambient guitars and some very heavy djenting guitars, and there's quite a few of those. Liam decided for this particular recording that he'd do something a little bit unconventional for him, which was to use an 8-string to record a lot of the heavier rhythm guitar sections, just to give it a really, really big sound. And we ended up doubling pretty much everything. In fact, we quad-tracked every single one of the rhythms, so we have the 8 strings quad tracked and then just the normal 6 strings quad tracked as well. That really broadened out the sound, as I'll show you now. So as you can hear there's a really, really nice contrast between the higher tuned guitar and then the lower tuned 8-string guitar. It's a really, really nice chunky full sound that we got going there. It really came out nicely. Very nice. And then moving on from that, as I said, we have some ambient guitars accompanying that. I'll just play those now, with and without the rhythms, so you can get it in context a little bit. Moving on from that in the opening section, the last sort of little bit really in that is a lead guitar. There are a couple of double-tracked guitars that come in a little bit late in the section, which I'll show you as well, but just to give you an idea. And incidentally, this was the first instance that Liam started using the Pt.1 Neural DSP plugin for the recordings, because it created some really, really nice tones. I believe he used the Pt.1 for most of it, and then also the Pliny just for a couple of the lead sounds, I believe. That's correct. I could be wrong. Moving on, I can just give you an example of some of the double-tracked harmony guitars along with the main lead. And then all of them sort of in context. Gives you quite a nice big sound. Very nice, very genty, very cool. Moving on to the bass here, we recorded this quite in a very interesting way. It was the first time that we'd recorded bass ourselves, me and Liam. So we didn't really know quite what was going to come out in terms of the bass. We knew sort of what we wanted, but we both sort of just sat down and took it in turns, recording different sections, just to see what would happen. Really, there were instances where I would think, okay, now I've got a cool idea for this bit. Let me try, and then he would go, okay, let me try a little bit on this bit. So we just took it in turns and just played off each other what we came up with for the bass, and I think it worked quite nicely. It was a very unique and different way of doing it. So that resulted in quite a few different sounds and different ideas for the bass, which was just quite interesting, quite fun. I'll give you a little bit of an example of the general sort of sound we went for. So for this whole album, we ended up using my Dingwall NG2 bass. We just restrung it as well, so it was nice and crisp, nice and fresh. We used the Neural DSP Parallax plugin. I had no idea really going into this how to sort of dial in a bass tone. So again, me and Liam were very, very, very fresh with this. It was quite intimidating, to be fair, at first, trying to dial in a good tone. I don't really know what all of this does. So it was just sort of shooting in the dark repeatedly and trying to come up with something. I ended up using a factory default just to sort of help me out a little bit, and then started to tone it myself, just to really, really, really just shooting in the dark, like I said, just to try and see what happens, which was a really, really fun thing to do, to be fair. And I think, all in all, I think we came out with a really, really nice sound. It was what we wanted. It came out the way that we wanted it for this album, and that was what was important. That we were happy with it, and we were definitely happy with it. Now that bit, there was definitely Liam tracking that, because I could not do that thumping section, because he decided to put that gosh darn thumpy section in, so he's suffered to record it. But again, I think it came out quite nicely. I won't give too much away as of yet, because there's some very, very, very cool sections later on. But just to give you an idea, that was the general bass tone that we were going for. And I think it all comes together quite nicely. Very cool, very cool. Um, so that'll do. That'll do for now. I think just thought I'd start things off nice and simple, just to show you a little bit. Obviously, there are a million and one other tracks that I still need to go through and show. The synths, the strings, even the vocals that come in a later section, which will be really, really cool to take a look at and to sort of explain a bit of the background of that. So that'll all be coming in a couple of future episodes.